Hello, friends. We are now waiting for our friends to come in. Okay, people are coming in. Let us just wait for a few minutes and then we can start our lesson on simultaneous equations. We are going to start our lesson on simultaneous equations in the next 3 minutes. Okay, I can see you. Jeff has just entered. I can see. Okay, thank you. Let's keep entering. We are remaining with only a few minutes and we are going to continue and start our lesson. Okay, so we can begin now. For those who are still entering, they will find us. We have a lot of things to look at. So we are looking at simultaneous equations, junior syllabus on simultaneous equations, grade 9s. Okay, so make sure you have something to write with so that you can follow me in everything that I'll be doing. So if you have any questions, please make use of the comment section. Okay, very soon I'll give you my email in the comments below. I'll put a link there so that you can ask me any question that you want on anything in grade 9 mathematics. Okay, so I can see they are entering. People are joining us from all over the world. Okay, so let us begin now. Okay, so when we are looking at simultaneous equations, so we have substitution method. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you both methods. I will start with the elimination method. Make sure that when you understand it, or if you don't understand anything, ask me. Okay, after the lesson, I'll be able to respond to your questions. So we have some questions here that will help us to understand what elimination method is about. So the first question says, solve the equations below by elimination method. Okay, so now in our exams here in Zambia, we will not tell you the method that you are supposed to use. So here we have specified because we want to understand what elimination is about. Okay, so the question says solve the equations below by elimination. So the first question, part A of the question, is x minus y is equal to 1 and 2x plus y is equal to -1. Okay, so this is the first set of equations that we are going to solve. Now, remember one thing. When we ask you to solve questions by elimination, we want you to find the value of x and also the value of y. So we are going to solve these two equations at the same time. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do here is to choose which letter I want to eliminate. So to eliminate is to remove something from the equation. So in this case, in all our examples, I'll be eliminating y. Okay, I'll be eliminating y. So if you are trying to, if you wish to ask me why I'm not doing it for x, it's because we can choose any letter that we want. So in this case, let us just concentrate on y, elimination of y. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do when you are eliminating a letter or a variable, in this case, for example, y, you need to look at the signs that are in the middle here. So for example, here, our signs are negative and positive here. Okay, so there are only two rules when you are eliminating. When the signs are different, you add the two equations. When the signs are the same, you subtract the two equations. So in this case, the two signs are different here. There's negative and positive. And not only that, you have to make sure that the coefficients are actually the numbers that are found in front of the letters. So since we are trying to eliminate y here, when you look at y here and this y, you can see that there are no numbers in front of the two letters. So here, it means that there's a 1 here, and also here there's a 1. And so we have a perfect example that we can eliminate. So what you do is just draw a straight line here. We'll draw a line, and then we are going to add the two equations. So we are adding the two equations because the signs here are different. So we are going to have x, this x here, plus 2x. So which will give us 3x. Okay, so for those who cannot understand why it has become 3x here, remember that when you have a letter here, the coefficient, which is the number in front of the letter, is a 1 here. So you have 1 plus 2, which is this 3 here, and the variable you have is x. And so here, since the two coefficients are the same, the numbers in front of the letters are the same here for y. You have 1 and 1, and the signs are different. You have a negative and a positive. So when the signs are different, it means that you have to add the two equations. This is why we are adding. And so what we have here, let me put it here. What we have is this negative 1 here, negative 1 plus positive 1 here. So positive 1. So according to the rules of integers, we are supposed to multiply these two signs here. Positive times positive, you are going to have negative 1 plus 1. So since these two signs are the same here, you subtract now 1 minus 1, which will give you 0. So it means that here, y will be eliminated. It will give us 0. And so even here, it's the same. You have 1, positive 1 plus negative 1. So since the two signs are the same here, it's just the same as saying 1 minus 1. So this is going to be equal to 0. Okay, and then we can divide both sides now by 3. So we're going to have over 3 here, over 3 there, and you have x is equal to 3 into 0 will give us 0. Okay, so now that we found the value of x, we need the value of y. So from the two equations that we have, these two equations here, you can choose any of the equations to find the value of y. So I'm going to use the one on top, this one here, x minus y is equal to positive 1. And then you will substitute this 0 where there is x here, because x is equal to 0. So you're going to have 0 minus y is equal to 1. And so 0 minus y is just negative y, which is equal to 1. Remember, there's a 1 here, so you divide by negative 1, both sides, to get rid of this negative. So you're going to have y is equal to negative 1. So therefore, our two values are x is equal to 0 and y is equal to negative 1. Okay, so this is the answer, or these are the two answers for our question, our first question here. So let's go to part B of the question. So part B of the question, okay, maybe some people are still copying. Let's do this. Okay, so our answers are x is equal to 0 and y is equal to negative 1 for the first question A. So this is what elimination method is about. So let's go to part B of the question. Part B of the question. Okay, so part B of the question says 3x plus 5y is equal to 1 and 4x minus 3y is equal to 11. Signs are different here. There's a positive and a negative, so it means we are going to add here to eliminate. But the first thing that we need is to make these two numbers in the middle here, the coefficients of y. We have to make them the same. Okay, so here's how we make them the same. I want you to pay attention so that you see how we make these two coefficients the same. So we are going to draw a line here. So the first equation here, the one on top, we are going to multiply it by this 3. So we'll say times 3. And then the equation down here, we'll multiply it by this 5 here, times 5. So it's like cross multiplying. So for us to make these two numbers the same, we'll swap them. We multiply the one on top by this 3 and the one down by this 5 here. So this 5 that you are seeing here is this one here, this one. The 3 that you are seeing here is this one here. So we have swapped them. So this is what we do in elimination method. We want to make the two coefficients the same. So let's multiply now. 3 times 3 here, we are going to have 9x. There's a plus here, so plus 3 times 5, we have 15y. And then 3 times 1, we have 3 at the end here. And then we come to the equation that is down here. 5 times 4, we have 20x. We have a minus here. 5 times 3 here, we have 15y is equal to 5 times 11, we have 55. So you can see here that we have made these two numbers the same in the middle here. And so we can eliminate them now. So since the signs are different right in the middle here, when the signs are different, you add the two equations. So we are going to add here, we'll put a plus here. This is what we mean when we say add the two equations. So 9 plus 20x is going to give us 29x. And then here, since these two are the same, they will be eliminated. Okay, you're going to get 0. 15 minus 15 is 0. And so here we have the equal sign. So 3 plus 55 here, we are going to have 58. Okay. And then now we can solve for x now. We divide both sides by 29. This side we divide by 29. Okay. And then these two will cancel out. We have x is equal to 29 into 58. Goes in twice, 2 times. So our x is equal to 2. So for us now to find y, we are going to choose one of these two equations here. So let me use the one that is on top here. You can use even this one down here, you get the same answer. So we are going to have 3x plus 5y is equal to 1. And then we are going to replace this x here with the 2 that we have found. So we are going to have 3 times 2 plus 5y is equal to 1. So 3 times 2, we have 6, plus 5y is equal to 1. And then we can collect like terms. So this 6 here, we take it to the other side. And since it's a positive number, it's going to be negative. So we are going to remain with 5y is equal to 1 minus 6. This 6, when the 6 goes that side. So we are going to have 5y is equal to 1 minus 6. Okay, so 1 minus 6 is negative 5. And then we can divide both sides by 5, this 5 here, to find y. So we have over 5 there. So y is equal to negative 1. Okay, so therefore our answers for this equation are x is equal to 2 and y is equal to negative 1. Okay, so that is what we do for this question here. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing even for the last question that we have, part C of the question. So we are going to go through it once again. So for us to solve these two equations here, the first thing that we do is to choose a letter that we are going to eliminate, or a variable. So in this case, I said we are going to eliminate y. Okay, we just chose it. There's nothing special about y. You can choose any letter. So once you have chosen y to be eliminated, the first step is you have to look at the numbers that are found in front of y. We call them coefficients. And so you have to make them the same. They have to be the same. And so the way you do it is you look at the numbers. So here, since you have 5 for the equation on top, you have 5. So it means the equation down here will be multiplied by this 5. And then here, since you have 3, the equation on top will be multiplied by 3. Don't worry about the negative here. Just get the number, which is 3. So you multiply 3 times 3, you get 9. 3 times 5, you get 15. 3 times 1, you get 3 here. So you come down here, you say 5 times 4, you get 20. 5 times 3 here, you get 15. So you see that these two numbers have been made the same. They are equal now. And then 5 times 11 is 55. Now that these two numbers are the same here, you look at the signs. Since the signs are different, you add. You put a plus here. You add. If they were the same, we would subtract. Okay, it doesn't matter how same they are. They can be positives here, plus and plus, or negative and negative. So in this case, they are different, so we add. And then when we say 9 plus 20, we get 29x there. And then here, since they are the same here, they will cancel out. 15y and 15y will cancel out because they are the same. And then 3 plus 55, you have 58. To get x, divide by 29 both sides. You have where there's x there. And then, like we did here, where there's x, we substitute 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 5y is equal to 1, and then we collect like terms. And then we can subtract and get the value of y, which is negative 1 in this case. Okay, so now let's go to the last equation. Okay, so our last equation. So we come to our last equation here, part C of the question. So part C of the question here, in part C of the question, we are saying 2x minus 3y is equal to negative 6, and x minus 5y is equal to negative 10. Okay, so here we are going to follow the same procedure that we followed on the other two questions. So the first step is to choose the letter that you are going to eliminate. So once again, we are going to eliminate y here. I have chosen y to be eliminated. So the first step that I'm going to do now here for me to eliminate y is to look at the two numbers that are in front here. So you can see that on top here, in front of y, there's 3. So it means the equation down here will be multiplied by 3. This 3. And for the equation down here in front of y, we have 5. It means that the equation on top here will be multiplied by 5. And then we are going to have 5 times 2, which will give us 10x minus, there's a minus here, 5 times 3 is 15, y, 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. Then we come down here, 3 times x, we have 3x, 3 times 5 here, we have 15, y, and 3 times negative 10, we have negative 30. Okay? And then now, the next thing is, for us to put a sign here, we have to look at the signs that we have here in front of y. So we have negative and negative. The two signs are the same. So when signs are the same, you subtract. When the signs are the same here, you subtract. Here you put a minus. So you say 10x minus 3x will give you 7x. And then here, these two will cancel out because they are the same. And this is equal to, here you have the signs are the same here also, and you are subtracting. So it means even these two to be negative 30 minus negative 30, which will give you 0 here. Okay, so let me even put it here, negative 30 minus negative 30. So here you're going to have negative 30 plus 30. So 30 minus 30 is just 0. And so this is what we have here. And then we can divide both sides by 7 to find the value of x. So x will be equal to 0. And so for us to find the value of y, we are going to choose one of these two equations here. Okay, this time I'll use the equation that is down here. X minus 5y is equal to negative 10. And here where there's x, I'll replace it with the 0 that we have found here. So we have 0 minus 5y is equal to negative 10. So 0 minus 5y is negative 5y, which is equal to negative 10. And then now you can divide both sides by negative 5 to find y. Okay? So here, negative 5 into negative 10 is positive 2. Because the signs are the same, the answer will be positive. And so therefore, our answers here are x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 2. So in okay, so now we are going to the other method for solving simultaneous equations. We are about to go to the next method for solving simultaneous equations, which is the substitution method. Okay, so substitution method. Okay, so for substitution method, like the method itself suggests, you have to substitute. Okay, so let's look at the first question here, which says solve the equations below by substitution. So the first one, 3x plus 2y is equal to 12, and y is equal to 3. So we've started with the simplest of all substitution equations. So what we are going to do here is, we'll get this 3 here and substitute it where there is 1. We're going to have 3x plus 2 times 3 is equal to 12. And then we are going to have 3x, 2 times 3 here is 6, is equal to 12. And then we can collect like terms. 3x is equal to 12 minus 6 when the positive 6 goes that other side. So 3x is equal to 6. And then we can divide both sides now by 3. So 3 there, 3 there. Then we have x is equal to 2. And that is our value of x. And then we don't need to solve for y in this case because y was given here. So therefore, our answers are x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3, which was given in the question. Okay, so those are our answers for the first question. Okay, so now let's go to question 2, or part B of the questions. Okay, so part B, Part B, 3x minus 2y is equal to 14 and y is equal to 2x minus 9. Okay, so here, for us to use the substitution method, we are already given to say y is equal to 2x minus 9. So we are going to substitute this equation here into the first one that we have, this one here. So where there is y here, we are going to put 2x minus 9. So we are going to have 3x minus 2. I'm writing this one, the one on top here. And then here where there is y, we'll open brackets and replace it with this part of the equation. 2x minus 9 is equal to 14. And then we can expand the brackets here. So 3x negative 2 times 2x here will give us negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 9 will give us positive 18 is equal to 14. And then now we can subtract 3x minus 4x here will give us negative x. And then this 18 here, we'll take it to the other side. We are going to have 14 minus 18, which will give us negative x is equal to negative 4. And then for us to get rid of this negative on x, we divide both sides by negative 1. And therefore our x will be positive 4. So for us to find the value of y now, we get this second equation here because it's already expressed in terms of y. Okay, y is already the subject there. So we are going to have y is equal to 2. Here where there's x, we put a 4 minus 9. This 4 that we found. So 2 times 4 here, we are going to have 8 minus 9, which will give us negative 1. And so therefore our answers are x is equal to 4 and y is equal to negative 1. Those are our answers for this question. Okay, so I hope you are following. Now we can go to the third equation. Okay, a bit trickier than the first one. Okay, and the second one. Okay, so part C of the question, I'll be as slow as I can be. I want you to follow me. X minus y is equal to 1. 2x plus y is equal to negative 1. So we have two equations, 1 and 2. Okay, so when you are solving by substitution, you look at the two equations and choose the one that seems to be the simplest equation. So in this case, the simplest is the first one because it does not have numbers here. So all we do is to write, to make x the subject of the formula in this case. You can even make y if you want, but x is easier because y has a negative in front of it, so it will be difficult to make y the subject of a formula. So we will get the first one here. We'll say x minus y is equal to 1. And then we'll say x is equal to, and then we take this negative y, this side. So we are going to have 1 plus y. So the y will become positive here because it has a negative. And so this equation that we have made, we can call it equation number 3. And so we use the equation number 1 to get number 3. So we are now going to get this third equation and substitute it into the second one. So here where there is x, we will put what we have found here. So we are going to have 2, and then we open brackets, 1 plus y, and then there's a plus here, y is equal to negative 1. Then we can expand the brackets here. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2 times y is 2y, plus y is equal to negative 1. And then here now, we can collect like terms. So here we have like terms here. So 2y plus y. Okay, so 2y plus y, we are going to have 3y is equal to, and then this 2, we'll take it to the other side, like terms. So negative 1, which is here, minus the 2 that has moved to go there. So 3y is equal to negative 3. So according to integers, when the signs are the same here, add the two numbers and maintain the sign. So 1 plus 2 is 3, the sign is negative. So we divide by 3 both sides, and our y will be equal to negative 1. 3 into 3 is 1 plus that negative there. And so for us to get the value of x, we'll get equation number 3 here. So we are going to say, therefore, x will be equal to 1 plus, where there is y here, we'll put negative 1, which will give us when we multiply negative times positive here, we are going to have 1 minus 1, which is going to give us 0. And so therefore, our two answers are x is equal to 0 and 1 for this question. So this is the end of our lesson on simultaneous equations. Thank you very much for paying attention.